Nice. Welcome, everyone. Find a really comfortable seat. You're also welcome to lie down. You might sit on a cushion or the floor and just arrive here, finding the breath and finding some movement in your body that feels good with the breath. So maybe it's inhaling to open and expand the hands and exhaling to close. Or you can touch each finger, inhaling and exhaling. Maybe you shrug the shoulders, inhaling and exhaling, just noticing how the breath impacts the movement, going the other direction, and how the movement might change the breath depending on how quickly you're moving, how vigorously you're moving. That can affect the breath. And these are not good or bad things. We can sometimes control the breath, we can other times let the breath do what it will, but it's nice to notice and acknowledge. Maybe it's some twisting, inhaling to one side and exhaling to the other. Ask your body what it wants today. Ask your body what would feel good. And then ask your body how much of that would feel good, because sometimes a little bit feels great, but a lot feels like too much. So you have to be responsible for finding your own edge and not going past it, because that's what puts us into fight or flight. That's what puts us into this freeze response. That's what puts us into more inflammation or this fear response versus empowering, restful, rest and digest mode. Lovely. If there's anything else that would feel good, stretching the legs out or turning the neck, or whatever movements would feel nourishing in your body, take those. Do that. Wiggle and shake or dance around or do an official yoga move or something you've just made up, and then find your own, in your own time, most comfortable position that you feel like you could stick around in for 20 minutes. And that's not to say that your position has to be super fixed. I think there's a misnomer that when we meditate, we have to have this super tall spine and we have to put our hands in a specific mudra and we have to sit in lotus pose. And while that's lovely, if that works for you, my philosophy is that if you need to mindfully move because your body is uncomfortable, then by all means move so your body is more comfortable. That comfort is king. That is the most important thing, to let our body know that we're safe and that we're taking care of it. So when you found your most comfortable position, you can close your eyes if you like. You can lower your gaze. You might find a drishti, a point of focus in the distance that can help you keep all of the distractions from the outside world a little bit at bay while you come into the body and into the breath. You might set an intention for this practice, like I come back to the present moment. Or you might have something else that you've been working with. Send it out to the universe, maybe repeat it a few times. I come back to the present moment. I come back to the present moment. Let the universe conspire to help make it so. And then notice where you feel the breath the most in the body. Maybe in the nose, in the upper lip, maybe in the chest, maybe in the belly. Those are three common places, but you might feel the breath somewhere else. And I'll invite you to make the breath even easier and even slower. So, especially slowing down that exhale. That will help tell your parasympathetic nervous system that everything's okay. We are safe. We are taking it easy. So, inhaling naturally, normally, and just letting that exhale linger, letting it be a little bit longer, letting it be a little bit um, drawn out, intentionally drawn out. Maybe eventually matching the inhale and the exhale being twice as long as the inhale. And some people like to count this. If you're one of those people, great. You can count for 3 or 4 or 5 and exhale for 6 or 8 or 10. But other people like to be more intuitive, and you might even use your intention today as a mantra. I come back to the present moment. And we'll sit like this for a couple minutes, really working on elongating the exhale, but not to a point of stress. If it feels like, oh, I have no air left, I must gasp for my inhale, you've probably just gone a little bit past your edge. That's fine, just reel it back in. Finding that common middle ground where the inhale feels easy and the exhale feels long and luxurious, not too long in your body. And I'll call you back in a couple minutes. I come back to the present moment. Take your time, one more luxurious inhale, and one more long, slow, full exhale. Letting the breathing return to normal, noticing where you feel it in the body, not trying to control it or force it, letting it be easy. Feeling the earth beneath you, letting the hips be soft, letting the shoulders come away from the ears, letting the hands be gently open, resting nicely, just allowing any little bits of tension that might have worked their way into your body to ease. And that might not mean that they're completely relaxed. Even a few percentage points, just a tiny bit moving in the right direction, is great progress. We move towards our goals one step at a time, one day at a time. I'll invite you to join me in some box breathing. You might already know this technique, but we'll do some breath holds. It's inhale for, again, 3, 4, 5 seconds, however long feels good in your body. A hold at the top for the same amount of time. Exhaling for that same 3, 4, 5 seconds. And then holding the breath out So we can think about inhaling to expand. We expand the belly, we expand the pelvic floor. We hold that expansion. And then we can think about the exhale as contraction, contracting the abs, contracting the pelvic floor, holding things in and tight. And then going through that whole cycle again, slowly, gently, mindfully, watching how the body reacts, watching how the breath reacts. And again, if you're not a counter, that's fine. You can be extremely intuitive about this and inhale for about what feels right. Hold for about the same amount of time. Exhaling for about the same, and then holding it out. Your box doesn't have to be perfect. Find what works in your body, and I'll call you back in a couple minutes. Take your time wherever you are. We'll do one more round like this, inhaling and holding the breath at the top, exhaling and exhaling all of your air out at the bottom, holding the breath maybe even a little longer until you develop that air hunger. Taking your time here. And then when you feel the urge to breathe, breathing in slowly, gently through the nostrils. Finding the breath in the body. Again, it might be the upper lip, the chest, the belly. It might be somewhere else. And then come back to your intention. For me, it's I come back to the present moment. And that means it doesn't matter how many times I get distracted by the future or the past. It means that when I get distracted, I reset. I say, oh, actually, I'm going to stay right here in this moment, and in this moment, and in this moment. We'll move into a five senses meditation, and we'll start with the sensation of touch. So, what are you sitting on? And how does it feel beneath you? What is the quality of the earth? Is it firm or soft? Is it cool or warm? Is it uniform or does it change from one body part to another? And then pinpoint which parts of the body are touching the earth. Just identifying where is that little bit of pressure? What's being suspended and what is making contact? Looking at the feet and the thighs, the hips, the arms and hands. And then we'll look for internal feelings. So, do you have any sense of things happening inside the body? Maybe a tummy rumble or some tingles. Maybe something is hot or cold. Something feels tight or loose. And as we search for these sensations, we treat them with equanimity. We're observing, but we're not judging. Even if we wish things were different than they are, we can simply acknowledge, this is how it feels right now. And then we'll gently let go of the sense of touch and move into anything you can hear. There may be obvious sounds. Something's going on outside or in the next room. There may be very, very quiet sounds of pipes or air. Or there may be internal sounds. If you swallow, or your belly rumbles, or you rub your thumb against your index finger, your body makes lots of sounds. Maybe a crack or a click somewhere. And maybe it's just the sound of my voice, and that's okay too. We don't have to search, we're just observing. If the sounds come in, great. And if they don't, that's all right, we're ready for them when they arrive. And then we'll move from what we can hear to what we can smell. And it may be nothing. It may feel very neutral where you are, and that's fine. It may be very distinct, perfume or a candle or something cooking. See if you can bring a memory that's associated with a smell. There's a big link between smell and memory. Perhaps from your childhood, could be a flower, a fragrance, a meal. What are the qualities of that smell? And then we'll let that go for a moment and come to the tongue and taste. And first, just sensing the qualities of the interior of the mouth. Maybe you swallow or move the tongue around, especially if it's gotten stuck on the roof of the mouth, which it sometimes does. How sharp are your teeth? How soft are your cheeks? Is there a specific taste? The memory of a taste, or maybe it's so neutral, either is fine. And then finally, we'll go to sight. Picture the room around you. If your eyes are closed, keep them closed. If you're looking at a single point of focus, don't waver. Just picture the space. Where are you in the space? Where's the stuff around you in the space? How near or far are you? What's on the walls? If you were a bird or a bug and you could be hovering above you, seeing the whole room from above, how would everything be laid out? What color is everything? And what texture? And then we'll do something somewhat unusual and bring the meditation into the room. So you might like to cover the eyes if they're closed and blink them open. And then with equanimity, just observing, saying, ah, yes, or oh, that's not how I remembered it. Take a little look around your space with new eyes to see what was very familiar, that you're like, oh, yes, this was here and this was here. And what was glossed over or forgotten or moved in the mind? There's no rush. Take your time. And then move through your day with self-compassion and open eyes. Thanks for practicing with me today.